when you're going through stuff and people have all this input and they have no freaking knowledge, nor do they have any expertise that's going to help you, it does create a little bit of that loneliness. It does. Because you got people that are coming in who are, trying to insert their opinion. And it's like, bro, you'd rather be alone because you're already doing it on your own anyways.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Okay, guys, welcome to QFM podcast. This is Giffy here, and
We got Kenny J. What's good?
so we got our episode. We're not interviewing anybody. We're just gonna bring our perspective on something that I feel like really it kind of is a thing that's not really talked about, but kind of getting talked about.
Yeah.
And so we're 25, we're growing up, right? So we're trying to give a perspective on what we're seeing now, and that is loneliness. So for you, KJ, what do you think loneliness is to you?
I think loneliness is just being in that void to where, and it comes in different shapes and sizes.
Right.
You can take it as like the bare bone of what loneliness is, just like being alone. But I think that also what it can come to is feeling empty and not feeling complete.
Right.
So I think that also being loneliness can kind of like encompass that. What about you?
I feel like more, and that's really good that you brought like those different types of perspectives. For me, it's like loneliness is more of feeling as if this particular thing that is missing that you have to do yourself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, in the sense of like everything you're really dealing with, you have to some sort of deal with alone, because you're the only one that's really dealing with that. Right. So it's like, and people be like, oh, if you're born alone, I'll die alone. I'm like, well, I technically wasn't born alone. I have a twin. So it's like, I don't even biologically.
You don't got that gifted, man. You spoiled.
Yeah. Like, what? That's like, I think that's really great, but really you're dying alone still. You see what I'm saying? But so when people say that, I'm like, well, I'm the exception to that. So I never looked at it as, oh, like, I would say like, oh, whatever happens to him happens to me, vice versa, because everybody's really thinking of themselves, know? So I think we're all going to that cycle of thinking of yourself, and that's what creates that loneliness. It's you not giving that space to do good for other people versus as well as people not doing good for you.
Yeah.
So
do you ever truly feel lonely because like you always got your brother? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because it's funny because it's so funny because like we would share the same bed. We would share the same clothes. We would not share the same clothes, but wear the same clothes as well. Right, whatever was his, it was mine, vice versa. Right, because we wore the same size stuff, so it's like, well, even for Christmas, if you, I don't even share a birthday, or I share a birthday. It's not like I have a birthday alone. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I think I'm very grateful of that as well. But there's always going to be a point to where you are going to be alone, just depending on the circumstances, depending on what you put yourself through. And we see that a lot, including dating as well, right? People prefer to be alone, right? Which is wild. And that was something that, that I had to understand later on, so I would say, what would be an example of you feeling alone? Like, what was one example for you?
I think when you're going through a struggle that not many people can understand.
Yeah.
So, for example, on the way here, I was listening to this song called Denver by Jack Harlow.
Okay.
So it was in one of his albums, and he's pretty much talking about how when you reach a certain pinnacle of success, only a few people can like understand that feeling. But on top of that, you're in this like realm where you're just by yourself.
Right,
Like you're
right.
getting praise, everybody likes you, you're getting surrounded by not many people that you like know or trust. And then you got your circle of friends that you came up with, but sometimes they're not going to truly understand your position because you have like a certain sense of responsibility that's like weighed on you
Right, right.
to either be successful or take care of your family and et cetera, et cetera. But I think that like also when you're at that level or just being in a situation where you got to go through something that not many people can understand, that could feel lonely.
Right,
You
right.
know, like for example, achieving success can means that you have to do things that you don't want to do or it's out of the ordinary.
Right,
Like
right,
getting
right.
up early, taking a cold shower, staying that extra
Those are
hour just to
crucial.
like, either learn the game or, do some other stuff. Doing things that like other people aren't willing to do or is going to feel like a lonely sense, but you understand you got to do it. And not many
Right.
people are going to understand that.
Right, right. So you're looking more as lonely as the responsibility aspect, like more of like you're doing certain things to strive a certain way. Now you're looking at the habits of what you're doing. That separates yourself automatically, right? Because you're
Yeah,
doing things based off of your circle in a sense,
right.
right?
And
So
that's one aspect of loneliness to look
right,
at too.
right. So but I'm saying you're yourself. Was there a point to where you felt like, dang, I'm doing this shit by myself? Like you
Yeah.
never.
I would say like in school,
Okay.
during school, I always wanted to drop out, like always.
Oh, in high school or in college?
No, in college,
Oh
I
wow.
would say like
Okay.
after my first semester of college, I really wanted to drop out because I felt like the things that I was learning, it wasn't what I wanted to do. Even when I went to senior year, it was just kind of a stride, and I was doing it because it was for my parents' sake. Everybody beside I think my brother, he graduated college, and then like also for me, I think they never got that opportunity to go to like a 4-year college.
Right.
My
Right.
mom, she got pregnant with my brother, so she just went straight into the work field and just worked her way up. My dad, he went to like a community college, but never had the funds or resources to go to a full year, 4-year and get that experience. So every time I try to like explain to them that like I'm not happy, and then like the things that I'm learning in school is like not really benefiting me, they were blinded by the fact of you got the opportunity to do this.
Right. Right.
We didn't have that. So one, you should be grateful, and then on top of that, you should just finish because it's gonna benefit you in the long
You
run.
didn't even have anybody to really console you in those type of
Not
problems.
really, because I didn't really talk to my brother back then like that. And then my sister, she went, but she ended up dropping out and like doing her own thing. So when I talked to her about it, she understood, and it was just more of a sense of what I would want to do. So pretty much me finishing college was just for my parents' sake, you
Right.
know?
Right. Right. I think one example for me, which was crazy because it was in college, but it was more when you're alone, bro. You like it's whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you're not really focusing on like you're not really focusing on the aspect of meeting new people. Well, you want to meet new people, but you're not emotionally ready for that. You see what I'm
right.
saying? I'm just saying in all aspects. Like, and this is right before I met you. It was during, I believe, my junior year of college, and I broke up with my girl. You already know the story,
Yeah.
and crazy story,
Part
and
two.
part two, and I was like alone, and all my roommates left. So right when I came into the apartment, it was just me in the apartment, just watching TV or going to work or going to smoke hookah by myself, right? And it was kind of depressing at first because during the breakup, I'm asking people for advice and no one's not really giving it to me, right?
Yeah.
And and here's where that separation of I'm gonna do me, right? I told my mom she couldn't tell, and I'm not blaming anybody. They don't need to have the answers, but I just realized a lot of shit that you deal with, it creates that loneliness because you're dealing with that shit already on your own.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm the type of person to where if you got a problem, I want to hear it. Because that one phone call can really set somebody away for them to feel good, for them to be better because that one talk that they had, you're like, damn, that changed my whole outlook. Damn, I was about to do something until I talked to this one person. You see what I'm saying? But in this situation, I'm asking everybody, what do I do? What do I do? And everybody's not giving me an answer, right? Yeah. And even my brother, like I'm asking him, this is my twin, and I'm like, yo, what do I do? And he's like, bro, I don't know. You hear that fatal phrase? I don't know.
And that's the thing that sucks too, is like you're going through something and you're seeking help and guidance. And when they don't give it to you, it's like you got to figure it out on your own. Mm-hmm. That's the lonely part too. And that's what sucks.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And this is not blaming anybody. This is just the reality of loneliness as well. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, I was going through that phase and it really took me a long time for me to get back up in that break. That was like the worst breakup is the one that you lost. Yeah. Right? That's the one that you fucked up. Right? The ones you did something bad or they did something bad to you, you good, you carry the path of righteousness, you feel good. But once you do something wrong to somebody and you really genuinely felt wrong, you see what I'm saying? That's the worst.
I think for me, it's the ones that like you actually care about.
Right, that too.
Like you genuinely care about.
That too. But I'm more like, yo, you see what I'm saying? Like, I did what I was supposed to do. If they not mad, cool. But if I did something wrong, I gotta carry that. And that's the worst thing to carry. So when you're telling people, I'm going to UNCG, talking with somebody, and the girl's like, do you have thoughts and stuff? And mind you, she was a student as well. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, you making me feel worse talking to you. Then I might as well just deal with this junk by myself. Right? And
wait, so she was asking questions.
She was making me overthink. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So I was like, because she wasn't even, how like UNCG, they provided like the mental health call or something.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I was trying to get to.
Oh, I did that too. That's crazy.
Right. So I was just trying to figure out ways on really how to do that. And then once you realize, damn, I'm really by myself. Damn.
Yeah.
Like you got your homeboys and shit with you and all this other stuff, but your true self is when you're by yourself. Yeah. And I started to kind of value that. So when now people want I'm like, bro, I got it. I'm good.
Do you value being alone now versus before?
You look at it more as a pro than a con.
Yeah.
Because you realize that, yourself is a whole nother entity that we don't even focus on. Right. Because we focus on other people, but you're not really caring about how you feel as a result. So it's like, I'm like, yo, okay, you know what? Like, I could, bro, when I eat before, I used to think eating at restaurants was stupid by yourself. Now I'm like, Sopranos, pasta. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, once I start to and here was another aspect, right? When I first met you, how was I when I first met you?
You was very social. Like, you liked a lot of people. You wanted to, I wouldn't say make friends, but
I want to explore.
Yeah, you wanted to like get perspectives and like talk to everybody. Whereas
and then go ahead.
And then with me, and it's funny because like me and you are like polar opposites. So you're more social and outgoing. I'm more like chilled and introverted. And I think it's funny is because we've known each other for what, 3-ish years? Maybe 4?
I would say probably 3 or 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4. And I think over time, we kind of like bled off of each other's personalities.
Right.
Like you don't really like socializing that much anymore. I'm starting to like get out of my comfort zone and like try different things. I still hate people. Like
you don't like people?
I do not like people. I despise them.
Why is that?
Dude, people just are just aggravating. You know what I'm saying? And like, I think for me, I just like valuing my time and just being by myself, because I think you said it best. You can, be yourself, and then on top of that, you don't have like a sense of responsibility to, think about how like other people is feeling in that situation.
Right. Because the thing is though is that like the wildest thing was, when I got my apartment, I was like, damn, I can do whatever the fuck I want. You see what I'm saying? I was like, damn, I felt that way, but then it gets to a point to where, and I'm looking at it, it gets to a point to where for a while you're like, dang, like I miss, going somewhere or going back home and seeing the usual people that are there. It makes you feel a little bit more, I guess, protected. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then now it's like, yo, like there's a lot of things that you really have to do on your own, right? And I hate those people that try to insert for stuff that, I'm like, bro, you mind your business. I got it. Mind your business. I don't even, and they're so crazy because you say, we kind of bled off like on with one another.
Yeah.
And now it's like when we go to clubs and junk, I'll be like, it gotta be worth talking to you now.
Yeah.
I'm not just talking to nobody. I want to be. Let me. If I fuck with you, I'm gonna talk with you.
Right.
But don't leave me alone. You see what I'm saying? Just leave me alone. Because the job as well, you just start to you value social interaction a lot more. So it's like when you're talking with people every day, you gotta be like, right? You gotta talk with people every day. And I was like, bro, leave me alone. I don't even want you to. Don't talk to me. What? Leave me alone.
Because like I don't mind. It's not that I don't have an issue of being that social person. Like I can do it. It's just like it's draining.
It can be. It can be.
So I have like a social meter. Like once it's past that meter, then like I don't want to like talk or interact with anybody. Like just like you said, leave me alone.
But the thing is though is that for me, the more people I talk to, the more social I am. The less people I talk to, the less social I am.
Yeah, mine is completely opposite.
So it's
the
like,
more I talk to, the less I feel social, and then the little that I do talk to, I'm social for like a certain amount of time.
Right, like when I'm talking with people and I'm having good interaction, like I'm like a what's it called, introvert, ambivert, right? Yeah. So I'm kind of both. So it's like if I'm having good conversations with people, I'm gonna want to talk to a million people. But if I have one bad conversation, I don't want to talk to nobody. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I don't care. Right. Leave me alone.
That's cold, man.
But I'm just saying, like, you just, like, when you're becoming, like, a young adult, you just start to value your time a lot more.
Yeah,
you start to realize
That's really true.
That there are, like, bro, if you're going to be that way, leave me alone, right? And for me, I remember, right, me and my dad was talking. And my dad, like, my brother, people be like, yo, Gifted, you be doing you. Yeah, because what we gotta talk about?
Yeah.
If you call me, I'm gonna answer. If you're not calling me, I'm not about to be bothered with you calling me. I'm not about to be mad. I got my own people that care about me. I'm not about to be worried about people that don't. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, in getting to that, my dad, right? We're talking, and I shout out to my Uncle King, right? He was like, Uncle King don't really talk to a lot of people. And I was like, and it's not talking junk, all right? I'm just putting that out there. I was like, but Dad, what if after the day is over, what if he want to relax? What if he doesn't want to talk to nobody?
Yeah.
Because he already got stuff that he's trying to figure out on his own. You see what I'm saying? And that's what is hard. Because you got people who insert that are not even part of the equation. And you're like, bro, I'd rather be left alone. But then you want to have that companionship. You want to have people talk to you. So it's kind of that double-edged sword as well. But it's like, but that was what he said. I said, you know why I don't talk to nobody? Because when people call me, it's always about something that they need. I hate that shit. I hate that shit. Why are you calling me for? People be like, hello. Why are you calling me for? Just let me know. Why? Like, I don't even want to talk to you now. You see what I'm saying? It's just like with the Buddha, he said, the more attachments you have, the more suffering that's going to come with it. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So the more friends you try to make and all this other stuff, the more stuff that they gotta bring in, the more issues that they gotta bring, the more emotions they gotta bring. So you have to kind of limit that, because if you don't, you're gonna go crazy yourself.
And I had to learn that a lot, like especially like last month. People are gonna come and go in your life, and obviously you gotta adapt to it. But what I also learned that although I was feeling lonely in that like month of July, I also realized that I have a very solid, circle. Like I got you, I got my boys, I got, my family. I can always turn to them whenever like, I'm feeling down. And I really do appreciate that too.
Right.
And I think that sometimes we do take that for granted because
right.
we want to just handle it all by ourselves because that's what we feel like is expected.
Right.
But on top of that, we can't forget that like, hey, you still got your support system if you need us. Like we're here.
Right. And that's how it always should be, right? And for me, it's like, and I think the more you become reliable, the more you feel alone, because I would say like you're
self-reliant.
Well, you can say self-reliant.
Okay.
And it's tough a little bit. I think it's really tough. Another lonely time that I had was when I had a choir.
Really?
It's tough. Yeah. Talking with people every day, people trying to tell you, and people try to give solutions that they're not there for. They're not there for that. People try to give input, they're not there for that. You see what I'm saying? So it comes to a point to
where say that one more time.
For example, you got somebody if I know my homie doesn't get girls, right?
Yeah.
Don't be complaining when you're in an event and you're not putting him on. You see what I'm saying? Right. So don't be complaining if you're not part of the solution for your friend, for your person. So when people try to input, okay, what can you do for me? What would you do?
So you felt that at a choir, you weren't.
It was at a bad job. It was a bad job.
You weren't getting like the success, and some of that was based on the teachers or mentors there.
No.
So I'm trying to understand.
No, I know, but I'm saying like the things I was going through there. No one could understand it. My point is that people were giving input for shit they didn't have solutions for. So that's what creates that loneliness.
But like, what was you going through though? Because I would argue like when you first start out a job, 90% of those people know exactly where you're going, where you're coming from.
Right, but that job was not a good job. You see what I'm saying? And I was looking for a new job. Right?
You got a new job.
I know, but I'm saying I did that on my own. Yeah. I'm saying like, you're not funny. I'm saying like for like when you're going through stuff and people have all this input and they have no freaking knowledge, nor do they have any expertise that's going to help you, it does create a little bit of that loneliness. It does. Because you got people that are coming in who are, trying to insert their opinion. And it's like, bro, you'd rather be alone because you're already doing it on your own anyways.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Kenny J. I'm one half of the QFM podcast. If you made it this far to the video, I just wanted to say welcome. While you're here, you might as well go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and then on top of that, just go ahead and share it to a friend, family member, like grandmother or whatever. We want to get this channel to grow, and we have goals. So if you want to go ahead and support us with the channel, you might as well just help us out. It'll definitely go a long way. All right, y'all. Now back to the video. So basically, like, since you're going through this alone, like, you might as well just not enjoy it, but it's like
you might as well.
You just do it yourself. Yeah,
you're dealing with it. That's
like
your
you're already
job.
in there anyways. Like you might as well just embrace it.
That's your job.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's your job. You see what I'm
Nah, I
saying?
feel
Or
that.
your car is broken down, right? Your car is broken down, right? You know what people gonna be like, oh, you know what? I hope you're doing okay. And they're gonna go. Because that's not their car. That's
Yeah.
your car. You're dealing with it alone because it's not your car. It's not their car. It's
Yeah.
yours. You see what I'm saying? So people be like,
So
oh,
like if you're broken down in the middle of the road, and then are you talking about like the cars that like pass you when your car's broken down?
my point is that whatever things that you have, right? You're like I said, your car, right?
Yeah.
And whenever you know you're asking for help, that help is not going to be 100% helpful because that's not their that help is not
It's
completely
not their
coming
situation.
from you.
Yeah.
It's not their situation. So they're not dealing with it on a daily basis, just as you are. So
Right.
that's what creates that loneliness. Is the fact that that's your stuff. That's your responsibility. You see what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
get my point?
Yeah, like let's say that you're behind on bills and you got to figure out how to get the funds to pay rent.
Those are your bills.
Yeah.
Unless
Like
you
you're
have a
still gonna have
roommate.
to you're still gonna have to figure that out because it's still your bills.
Right,
Like you
right.
can tell somebody about it, you can tell your boys, they might give you some money to like lend over, but that's still your responsibility.
That's still your responsibility.
Yeah.
They're not going to be affected by it, and that's where that loneliness is. That's where that loneliness starts, is because a lot of those problems, most people are not going to insert your problems with you whenever
Yeah.
those problems occur, right?
Not for that.
But then now you got people who are getting out of loneliness, who are trying to get out of it, right? Like especially after college, like bro, that was a loneliness time as well.
No, yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
you're still trying to find your people, you're still trying to do all this and that, and and I think for me, like, how would you say you get out of that loneliness?
You gotta find your why, and then you also gotta find your outlet.
Right.
So, what are things that make you happy? For me, it's like having those times by myself where I'm driving to work, listening to music, podcasts, or going to the gym. I think that's like another time when I'm like by myself because I really value my time to myself because
Right.
it's like a form of reset. You know, you're being social, you're interacting with all these people at work. Maybe if you live together with somebody, then like you might have some time to yourself, but like you're still living with somebody. Um, for me, I think it's just going to the gym, going to doing some runs in the morning, or even just like finding something that like makes you happy that can like get you out of that lonely space and finding people who are actually like going through the same thing because you actually are surprised some of the things that you are going through right now there are other people who are like right down the street who could be going through the same thing and there's like
Right.
there's those support systems and networking events where you can like go to these spaces and like people are actually there who are going through the exact same thing.
And just imagine too, man. People have to really go to social groups for them not to be alone.
Yeah, I think it's wild, but
Think about that. I'm like, and mind you, all for that, right? Because that is a solution.
right.
But you have to go find a group because of how big this is.
Right.
People are getting lonely every single day. Relationships, friends, people that are dealing with whatever. There's a lot of men out there who are crying because they are lonely.
Yeah.
When I went to Washington, loneliness.
Yeah.
It's
And they can't really
cold.
like express it too because
Right.
it's gonna sound messed up, but like people just don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
People don't care because everybody is focusing on themselves, and it's kind of that thin line between being wanting to be by yourself versus you wanting to be around people in general.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And for me, the way that I dealt with it was because when you realize this, it's people want to do them regardless.
Yeah.
Right? But what does that involve with? Themselves, right? So people are going to do whatever they want to do. And I used to expect people to look after me despite of the benefit of what they're getting because I will do the same. If I really fuck with you, it doesn't matter. As long as you're good, I'm fine. You see what I'm saying? And you know that,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So it's like, I'm not going to sit here, or even when my friends be like, dang, I'm alone, bro. I'm like, let me know what's going on. I could be doing anything. And I'm still going to be there because just that in general could really be a big thing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
This is the type of guy that will call me in the middle of the night or just on a random day out of nowhere too. And I appreciate that.
Right.
Yeah.
I did that with Gary. Like the
Yeah.
first time I was like, yo, you good? He was like, yeah. What do you need? I said, bro, nothing. I'm just checking up on you.
And you know what's crazy? It's like, that's actually a really good thing that you do that.
Right.
And the fact that like our first, initial thought is like, it's weird. Why is this dude calling me out of nowhere? He
because
don't want
you're
anything.
thinking that they need something.
Yeah, like they don't want anything. Like
Right,
you
right.
have to ask me anything. Like, you're just checking in. Like what?
Right.
And like I had to realize that I was like, dang, men, we don't really do that.
We don't do that. No.
Props to women because like they literally have group chats and friends who like check in with each other like either every hour or every like time. Like I always still find it weird to this day, but it's like you got to give it to them that they actually like check in on each other.
I mean, it's always good to check in.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? It's more.
Yeah, but I feel like guys don't really do it as much.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true. That's definitely true. Like that's how me and Gary are. Like I did that the first time, and he reciprocated that.
Yeah.
Me and my brother, we checked on each other all the time. All the time. You see what I'm saying? But when it becomes a certain things of making certain decisions, and it's so hard. It's hard because that's my twin. This is not anybody else. That's literally me. When I see him, I see me. So when things happen to him, I'm like, damn, I feel that same feeling. That has nothing to do with me, but I still feel that same feeling. There's some people that don't do that.
Yeah.
Unless they've been in that situation. You see what I'm saying? And I'm just saying things in general. And it could be really tough. It could be really tough for that loneliness. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just facing that type of thing and, just trying to guide through and things like that and you trying to figure it out. And it's good because you're figuring out on your own, but at the same time, there isn't anybody else looking out for you the way you look out for yourself.
True.
And I think that's wild to me. I feel like that's
But I mean,
wild.
to be fair, do you think that like people can't really like feed that off? Like you can only do that for yourself? Because you still got yourself at the end of the day. Like,
Right.
You go to sleep by yourself. You wake up by yourself. There's like the most of the time that you're gonna be spending with is by yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like I said, you got to have that capability in a sense of you doing it regardless. You got to have that capability. You see what I'm saying? You got to have that. Just for you doing that shows you're showing initiative. But when you got people who are not looking after you because you're just showing that initiative and that's it, people don't really care about that. People don't care about you showing that initiative. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you have to show, you really have to show that you want to do what you got to do because of that certain thing. And it just creates that, damn, I did this shit by myself. Can you do it? Can you do it? You see what I'm saying? And that person may not do it. That person may not know how to do it. Right? So it's like at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, we got ourselves, but at the same time, you may have other people that can provide you gems that you would never even thought of.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's just what that is when it comes to that. But going back to the subject on how to counter it, I just went out. I went out to the clubs by myself.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like I think a lot of people do want to see that change. It's just that they're not willing to, take that first step into doing it.
Right.
Which is like that's the hardest part, just like doing it. And like it's easier said than done. But I think like as we want things to change for ourselves, the biggest enemy or like the obstacle to block that is ourselves.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And that was what I was doing. Going to bars by myself. That's where I met a lot of different people, right? It's just going to, that's how, I'm not a regular no more, but used to be regulars at different spots, right? But that was just because I went out there and honestly, it was a lot more funner by myself than with other people.
Really?
You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, because you're not going to there's no social bubble that you're going to if things don't work out. You see what I'm saying? So you're like a nomad. So you want to explore a little bit more socially when you're out in those clubs. You get a lot of play
Interesting.
with that, to be honest.
For real?
I used to think that going alone was weird. To clubs by yourself is weird. I used to think that.
Yeah, I kind of think it's weird.
Right, but if there's a social interaction, like I'm gonna talk.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Some people be, trying to get some girls or something by themselves. That's weird. But I just think that like overall, it is a big problem, and people are kind of dying alone because they're feeling like they have no one to talk to.
Right.
They're feeling as if no one could relate to them in any way. You see what I'm saying? Or it doesn't have to do with, like, think about this too. When we went to DreamCon and we did one interview, the dude said, I came here to be myself.
Yeah.
Think about that. You went to a whole different state to be yourself.
Right.
I went there just to connect with people, like, to be real, to be honest. I went there to get a different perspective. But you went there to be yourself with other people. You couldn't be yourself to where you're around. And I'm not dissing him. I'm just saying it takes that length that we do to get out of that loneliness.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It takes that time for you to go out there and for you to really find your calling in that regard. And I think that's sad. I think that's really sad. You see what I'm saying? I think that's really sad. And people do
And
things
most people
to
never
avoid
find
it.
that.
Huh?
Most people never find it too.
Right. They never find
It's
it.
even worse.
They never find it. And they do things to, and here's another thing, right? And this is like a rant. UNCG, and we had that transition, and I realized a lot of college, you see the worst of people in college.
Oh yeah.
You see the worst people in college. That's what made me increase it even more. I'm like, bro, I don't even want to talk to you. I know what you're doing.
I've seen people change.
Right, change.
Like they do a whole 180.
Right. Next minute, oh, I'm in a relationship. Another minute, I'm gone. You see what I'm saying? They're not in a relationship no more. They're ready to go. So when I saw that, it's like, bro, do I really want to go through that with other people? Do I really want to go and deal with the fact that you're going to disappoint me, and being a disappointment, or as well as every interaction is going to be fake?
Yeah. It's
so
taxing.
What's the point?
It's taxing.
What's the point? Even the clubs now. What's the point? There's no point. When we're young, right, 23, whatever, I'm like, yo, let's go out. Going out every weekend. Now I'm like, bro, what's the point?
Yeah.
These people do not value me. They don't value
really
my
don't.
life. They don't care about you. They care about getting a drink in their hand. Happened plenty of times. We've been on that dimensions. That happened plenty of times. And it just increases that way because everybody, right. It increases because everybody's looking some type of benefit to be around you. And that's to me on why that loneliness increases to me every day. Every day.
Nah, you just hit the nail there.
Right.
You know what's crazy? Like I think even though that is 100% true, we still have to try, because trying is better than not doing anything at all.
Right.
And expecting a change to just come.
Right. And what's trying in what sense? Like, how do you think people should try?
Like if you want change to happen, and like let's say for somebody who's alone and don't feel like they don't have anybody to talk to, there's someone out there to at least talk to. You just have to go out there and make the change yourself. Mm-hmm. So for example, if you want to lose weight, there's plenty of examples, videos, books, and research out there to like help you lose the weight.
Right.
You just gotta make that first step and do it.
Right.
Not saying that you have to completely spaz out and like go hard in the paint like the first day. It's a process. You gotta like start off slow and gradually work your way up.
Right.
And that could be applied to anything. Whereas you want to either meet new people, go to events, network, maybe clubs, maybe not. That's kind of just your take. Go to some events that you might have at the apartment complex because I know they be hosting that too. Um, yeah, it just pretty much like whatever you want to do, you have to just like make the first step to do it. That's
Right,
the only
right,
way it's gonna change. You know?
right. Even when we went to that salsa class, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah,
And then he's
that
like,
was
she
fire.
needs a partner. I said, oh
I
my
was like,
fucking
come on, Gift, come on,
I was like, God
Gift.
damn it.
You know I'm not a social person, but I'm
Right,
doing
right.
this.
I don't know what it was, but to how to counter that is just putting yourselves in positions for you not to be.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Which is definitely a great point. Like hanging around with your friends, giving people calls more. And that's something that I definitely need to improve on because
Yeah,
I've been
same here.
so developed in my own world, still trying to develop it,
Right.
right? Relationship wise, work wise. I got a dog now. So all this other stuff, I'm trying to make a world for myself. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like just having people like you, like I got a lot of people in my back corner that care.
Yeah.
And that's something that like there's this quote, it's from Murder Pain. It was off the movie 211. It was appreciate people who love and annoy you because when they're gone, they can't do either of the two. And I never forgot that quote. Never forgot that quote. And it's so true because yeah, people annoy you. Yeah, people bring bring their stresses or whatever. But it's coming out of love at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's something that I have to realize is that not everyone's out to get you. Not everybody's out for a bad motive. And it's hard to find out there.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And I think for me too, like sometimes I still struggle with this today. Sometimes you just gotta accept that like good things just happen to good people. When you do the right thing, good things is gonna come around and, enforce that on you.
I don't even think that's true, to be honest.
You don't think so?
There's a lot of things you could do for people and it usually doesn't happen good to you.
Yeah, but you can't always expect good things to just happen to you just because you're doing good things.
Right.
Like you do the right thing because it's the right thing to do.
Right. You don't do it for the benefit. You do it because that's the principle.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's another reason why is that when people are doing certain things, they do it for the benefit. And I want to kind of get rid of that.
Right.
And say, if this was my homie, yo, like.
I would say, like, for me, I would want, like, there's whenever I feel like I'm a good person, at least
You think
to
so?
me.
No, sure.
I mean, like, if
You're a good person.
I know, yeah.
You're a good person.
Like, genuinely feel like I'm a good person. I don't always do the right thing, but I'm always trying to make sure I'm do something that's good.
Right.
Like that's
right.
logically or like the right thing to do.
Right.
I know like some people might not agree with that, but I feel like I do the right thing and be like a genuine person, decent at least.
Right.
And I say that because there's recently like a lot of good things that have just been happening lately. And
it's always when you're alone.
It's just hard. Yeah. And it's always when I'm
you're
alone. And then because in the past, like there's always so many like bad things that just like happen left and right. But that's just life. There's gonna be high times and there's gonna be low times. I feel like right now I'm just in the high and I just can't. It's hard for me just to enjoy it for what it is.
Right.
Because I know it's gonna come down at some point. But what I need to understand is that when good things come, I just need to accept it for what it is. Like there's not always like a catch behind it.
Right. And that's something that I gotta realize too. And it's like, for me, it's like, with everything I do, I try to make sure that I have a good mindset behind it. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, as you were saying, is like, don't go and do things just because of the benefit of what you're getting back in return. You see what I'm saying? Like I tell a lot of people that I may go on dates with, if I'm taking you out, I'm not expecting nothing back.
Yeah.
If I plan this is something I want to do. You shouldn't expect anything back.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It should just be who you are. Instead of just trying to do something for the benefit of yourself. And I think it's hard because
But aren't you still doing something for the sake of yourself to potentially, take that person serious or like have it go
I
somewhere.
mean, but if I fuck with you, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like if you're my homie and you don't got no bread, I got you. That was my principle. Cause as a kid, me and my brother used to have to go to the convenience store and share chips,
Right.
share zebra cakes. Facts, share zebra cakes. Right, I'm being that
Yeah.
serious.
No, I'm laughing because like there's two that come in the pack, so you got to share the
Right,
zebra
we
cake.
used to have to. Right.
Yeah.
There's things that you mess with, nah, bro, no. You mess with me, you mess with him, vice versa.
Yeah.
And it's like I think to me that's what breaks that loneliness. Is the fact of you doing things with great intentions.
Yeah.
Because if you don't and you're doing it to not be alone, it's like, you know what I mean? Then it's like you're doing it for the fear of keeping them. But if you're doing it because that's who I am, if you want to be around, cool. I would love for you to be around. But if not, see you later. You see what I'm saying? You gotta accept the fact that there are going to be times that you're alone, but you don't always have to deal with shit alone.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. If you got people in your back corner, if you don't, because there's a lot of people that nowadays that don't, go ahead and figure that out. Figure that out. So figure that out. So you always be laughing at something, bro. I be trying to have a serious moment and he be laughing. He be laughing. But yeah.
No, it's just inside joke. That's
No,
all.
I got you. I got
Yeah.
you. I got you.
Yeah, you know. Anyway, last thoughts?
No,
Anything?
no, not at all. Do you got any last thoughts or anything?
No, I mean, I think we pretty covered it up pretty good. I think the last thing, just want to make sure I put a tie on it. Just know that at the end of the day, you're not alone.
Right.
You might feel alone in that moment because you feel like you can't talk to anybody, but there's definitely people out there who are going through the same thing as you are. And it's hard to make that first step, but once you do, you're not going to regret it.
Right,
you know?
right. And if you find a genuine connection, go for it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Go for it and don't lose it. Because I think we get into that point to where we get so stuck in that lonely mode to where if you meet someone that's genuine, friend or relationship, you don't actually believe it.
Exactly.
So you be like, dang, you be in that Darth Vader mode and shit like that. You be like, fuck it, I'm alone. Yeah. So you definitely are not alone, guys. Okay. So again, guys, thank you for listening to QFM podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube and also to our Instagram. Check us out on Anchor as well. Have a great day, guys.
We out here.